Hi, everyone. I'm here today to introduce the new series that I'm going to be doing for all the zodiac signs. This one will be a reading to find out how these next 3 years of your life are going to be impacted, the central theme of these next 3 years of your life. If you are not aware, in my astrology that I put out every Sunday on the 15th, 4/15, we entered a 3-year period of time in which Pisces is being schooled by the sign of Saturn. So it's kind of like the oppression of the energy of Pisces. Now, what you should know about this. First of all, we've been in the age of Pisces since around 50 BCE, and we will be transitioning into the age of Aquarius and solidifying the age of Aquarius at 2100. Okay. It seems like a far way away because we're like 75 years away from actually being in 2100. But that means that we are currently in this 100-year cycle from 2000 to 2100 of the shift into the age of Aquarius. The first 25 years was the concession, let's say that concession of the sign of Pisces giving the crown to the age of Aquarius. And this is the reason why we saw so much divisiveness, so much turbulence, and so much ugly. Then from 25 to 50, we're going to go into this transition where our physical world will be affected as we enter into the new rules of the age of Aquarius. And then we're going to go from 50 to 75, where we are going to see the impact of our social emotional frameworks. So relationship skills, connections, so forth, so stuff, that stuff that has to do with your emotional body, and that will be shifting into the age of Aquarius. Another large shift that will be causing a lot of chaos. And then finally, from 75 to 100 is when we enter into the psychic world, where our minds are and our spirit is being affected by the age of Aquarius. And then we're solidified the age of Aquarius. So why I'm telling you this is because these first 3 years is the giving up of the crown. We're actually entering into what the Bible talks about in the age of, in the book of Revelations of the 7 years of darkness. This is the first 3 years, and then we're going to go into another 4-year cycle, which is like, that shift. Okay, so you have to think of 7, very important because it represents every single one of our energy centers. So if you're going from the base all the way to the crown, it's not until the 7th year that we finally are free from all the confinements of the age of Pisces. What does the age of Pisces mean? You have to think of the age of Pisces as the two fish. This is when there was a separation between the yin and the yang, where there are perceived differences between white and black and good and bad and right and wrong, kind of a separation. And then because of that separation, there was a lot of deceit because as you saw the yin and yang, there was a lot of yin inside the yang and a lot of yang inside the yin, right? So there's darkness, hidden darkness in people. There's masks that they were wearing. There was lies and deceit. As we're entering into the age of Aquarius, what we're doing is that we're moving into a season in which your external world and the way people view you and everything will be what your internal world truly is. There is no more hiding. And I've explained this over and over again for a while, but a lot of people are not understanding. There are some people that are already receiving the impacts of being seen. Some of them are very negative and some of them are really positive. It depends on what side of the spectrum you are. So this series will be focusing on this. This introduction video will be in every single one of them. So people are aware as to what it is that I'm focusing on. We will see how it will affect your light aspect. In other words, the sun, what you can see in your life and what you will know on your 3D reality. And then we're going to be looking at your dark aspect and the moon aspect, which is your subconscious. And then we're also going to be looking at the thing you will be confronting because we will be looking at your double energy. So I hope this is very informative and it helps you guys to understand why you're feeling how you're feeling these next 3 years, as it is a huge shift that is happening in the collective. Thank you for being part of the family and always subscribing. Thank you for checking out my website and subscribing to my newsletter there, where I send out a email every week on the astrology. And thank you for being interested in the services that I provide. All of you guys have been a blessing to me and a blessing to this channel, and I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's start our message. Okay, Capricorn, I'm going to shuffle the cards, and I'm doing it in front of the camera so that you can see. I'm shuffling very, very good just to make sure that the message that we receive is for you for the next 3 years. And then I also have some charms that I'm going to be getting a little bit more clarity before we start. I think that's a good amount. Let's see. Ooh, that one stuck to my hand. This one stuck to my hand. And it's a barrel. It literally says barrel, oh, wine barrel. And that one stuck to my hand. I want to let you know that drinking no bueno in these next 3 years. I feel like your habit of drinking wine is is really stuck on you, because it's stuck on my finger. Seriously, it's really stuck on you, and you have to be careful with that. I feel that strongly. Now, this is interesting because right here, the two are looking at each other, and it's the same thing. It's the energy of Aries. So the two goats are butting heads. All I saw were two goats hitting themselves like this over and over again, because they're literally facing each other like this. And then there's a barrel here. So be careful with drinking or drinkers. Okay, that would probably cause a little bit of the friction. And then we have the five pointed little flower. And you know what I felt with that? The Star of Bethlehem. I'm not really sure. Let me look it up real quick. I felt like I need to read this to you. It says here, the Star of Bethlehem. It's a flower. Okay, that's what that looked like to me. It says, it is often associated with purity, hope, and happiness, reflecting its biblical origins and its role in Christian traditions. The flower is frequently used in weddings, baptisms, and funerals, symbolizing innocence, hope, trust, honesty, and the Jesus Christ child. So, maybe the fact that we have the barrel here, it can be something about like parties, because people drink in parties. It can symbolize that. It can symbolize I still felt like, because the thing got stuck in my finger, and when it fell off my finger, it was like kind of backwards. I feel like just try to keep your drinking on check, because that can create friction. But it looks like some kind of celebration because of happiness. So I'm going to look for the sun, the moon, and the devil. Okay. Shut up, right after the other. And now I just need the moon. So the bottom of the deck, after the last card that I pulled, is the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles means that this cycle that you're going to be going through for this next 3 years are going to feel slow. It's a step-by-step process. It's going to take time. It's going to take, I just heard, maturity. And so just keep that in mind. It's not going to be like, oh my God, so many things happening at once. Capricorn is going to be like slow projection into the future. But I do see happiness because the Star of Bethlehem, right? You guys can do your own research as to significance, meanings, blah, blah, blah of the Star of Bethlehem. If you guys do rituals, look into how you can use it in ritual work. Okay. So the first thing we're going to look into is the sun. Why? Because the sun has to do with your 3D world, something you're going to be able to see. And the first thing I see is the Eight of Swords, but the after tarot where she's being cut free. So I feel like the first thing right off the bat that I'm seeing is going to happen for you is this energy where you're being set free from something. You're being liberated. There was something that was holding you back, maybe an obligation, maybe a cycle or whatever that you had to live through, that is going to be releasing you. Then we have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands here is kind of like, now it's time for you to take action. Now it's time for you to choose the next steps that you're going to have in your life. And here we have the after tarot of the Five of Wands, which says, now there's no need to fight because you've already received the wands. And then if you're thinking 5 and 1, that's a 6. So that's a victory. I'm feeling like you've won a battle, a very strong battle that was tuggy warring inside your energy for a really long period of time. And now it's time for you to make the decision as to what direction you want your life to be and what you should do to make that happen. The moon has to do with your subconscious, okay? And to reinstate this 8 number, and this is interesting, you got 88. This is the second time I see it. I actually did a Libra reading in Spanish that also got the 88 number. And we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is talking about finally walking away from something and then leaving behind what no longer serves you. It looks like people are going to look into the things you're leaving behind to see if there's any benefit that they can pull off of it. But I can tell you, you're leaving behind nothing. Everything is an empty cup. It's not going to give anybody worth of value. But if it feels it floats a boat to look through it, so what? So spiritually speaking, you just literally, not only in the physical got set free from something, but in the spiritual you got set free from something. Then we have this energy of the Queen of Swords, which then that goes along with the Ace of Wands. I feel like you're smarter now. You've acquired intelligence based on the experiences that you've had, and now you're in this energy of, now what do I have to do to transform my life? Because this is the after tarot, and she's looking at the if it focuses, at the butterfly in the top of her sword. So it looks like she's looking for a transformation. She's not looking in front of her for whatever is being offered to her, because usually she looks in front of her. She's giving the hand to offer, and she has a sword. So either give me a good offer or I'm going to cut you off, right? This time she's not even looking at the person in front of her. She has her hand extended upward, like to the butterfly, to the transformation, to the change that's coming into her life, but still has, because of the experiences that she's had in the past, that air of caution, knowing that not everything is as good as it seems. As I'm looking at my clock right now, like my real clock, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it does feel like a progression here. I feel like it's a growing pains, right? You went through growing pains. You experienced a lot of growing up, and these next 3 years it'll be putting your money where your mouth is, right? So now that you learned so much, now it's time for you to use what you learned to continue to move forward in a positive way. And then we have the Two of Cups. And so it does also feel like a spiritual union for you. So it's both aspects of you, male and female, coming into union with itself, or finding a union with somebody that is spiritually connected to you. So it reminds me again of these oh, I have it out because I've mentioned it before. I have an oracle card that's number 21. It says key of intimacy. Intimate love is a core need to be met in relation to ourselves and those closest to us. The journey of intimacy often includes learning what love is not. You see, and I was feeling that when I went through this energy, like I felt like you were entangled or held back based on situations of love, unhealthy love patterns, right? And this can be unhealthy love patterns with people, it can be unhealthy love patterns with addictions. It doesn't matter what the unhealthy love pattern is, but it feels that unhealthy love pattern energy. Okay. And then now it's kind of like, okay, I'm over it. It's time for me to move forward. I want to I've learned a lot through this process, and now I'm uniting with people and situations that are more aligned to my soul. Now we're going to talk about the devil energy. And the devil energy, like I said, it might be the limiting belief system or the restriction or the dark energy you will be confronting. And we have first the Prince of, or the Page of Pentacles, second, the Seven of Wands, and third, the Two of Pentacles. And so, what I'm seeing here is this energy where you're going to have to be very cautious and discerning as to what you invest in. Make sure to always keep your guard up so that you don't come out like emotionally scathed, I heard. So a lot of the things that you experienced before were emotional turmoil, right? They used your emotions against you. They made you feel less than. They made you feel like you had to earn love or that you needed to earn your place or whatever. And so it made you feel like there was something wrong with you, of something lack of wealth or value. And so now it's saying be very wise as to who you invest in or what you invest in. Assure that you are going to defend yourself and assure that you're going to advocate for yourself at all times, because you don't want to fall back into that emotionally turbulent time that you had been stuck with before. Okay. It's a very interesting thing here because it feels like somebody's growing up. That's what it feels like, emotionally growing up. So I hope this helps you, and we'll see you the next time.